Coming up on Mountain News this morning, grieving continues in Pulaski County as the community prepares to say a final goodbye to a young athlete who lost his life much too soon. And advocates for addiction recovery react to a recently passed bill that they say can be life-saving for those struggling with addiction and the ones who seek to help them.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Keaton Hall. The time is 4:59 and a little over 30 seconds. Let's take a look at the weather with Cameron Aaron. Now, I know we're on a first alert day. Cameron, how's it looking?
Right, this morning looks pretty good. We're quiet right now, but that is going to change later on tonight and also by this time tomorrow. Some stronger storms are possible. Let's take a look at that graphic real quick. You can see we do have a first alert weather day in place for the possibility of some strong to severe storms, and again late tonight and early Thursday morning for most of us. Most of your Wednesday looks pretty good, but that will change as we go later on into tonight. We are watching out for possibly some high winds and maybe a quick spin up tornado, but the higher risk will be from strong straight line winds. As you can see, a level 2 slight risk of severe weather in place for places like London, Jackson, over into Martin County as well. For the rest of us, a level 1 marginal risk is in place later on tonight and into your Thursday. Up on radar, that's all ground clutter thanks to some moisture in the lower levels of the atmosphere, but we are dry as we wake up this morning. But notice back to the west, some severe weather over portions of Missouri this morning, and that system is moving into our direction. Full details coming up in just a little bit. Keaton.
All right, thank you, Cameron. A Pulaski County community continues to mourn the loss of a high school football player. 17-year-old Andrew Dodson died on Monday. He was tackled during a scrimmage Friday night and hit his head. His exact cause of death has not been released. His friends say they'll miss his positivity, the happiness and passion he put out, and the great times they all shared together.
His positive attitude. He was kind of the glue guy in our friend group. Everybody had a positive relationship with him, and I think that will be what we miss most.
Visitation will be held at the Center for Rural Development in Somerset Thursday from 5:30 to 9 p.m. and again on Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. The funeral for Dodson will then follow at the same location. Staying in Pulaski County, one couple says someone dumped a truckload of trash near their lakeside home. Michael Watson says he videotaped someone dump a huge load of household garbage in the field behind him. You can see it there. He said the people told them they were filling in a sinkhole, but by all appearances with household garbage. Then yesterday morning they noticed the dump was set on fire and continued to burn and smolder all day. The Watsons say they're concerned that the garbage will run off into Lake Cumberland, which is near their home.
Hundreds of black garbage bags, white garbage bags. There were inner tubes, like big tire-looking inner tubes. There were plastic milk crates.
The Pulaski Solid Waste Coordinator says it's illegal to dump garbage in this manner and says he's told the couple to contact the county attorney. The Watsons were also told the EPA was contacted about this. In downtown Hazard, an increased police presence has some people questioning why. City Manager Tony Eversole says at least 2 police officers are on Main Street during business hours. You may have noticed them. He says the increased presence is a direct result of several reports that people were being harassed or were loitering in the area.
So we've increased foot patrol. We got somebody on town, on foot. At nighttime, we spot check it. We still make sure that nobody's living in the parking structure or under it or on the riverbanks or anything.
One business owner we spoke with said he supported the increased police presence downtown. Legislation will now become law that will decriminalize fentanyl testing strips as drug paraphernalia. Governor Andy Beshear signed House Bill 353 on Friday after it unanimously passed in the House and Senate. Supporters and drug treatment advocates say this is life-saving. Chad Hedrick reports.
It's a journey to recovery Mike and Marie St. John take every day.
I've been clean almost 7 years. June the 1st will be my 7 years.
Sharing their stories and opening up recovery houses, the couple knows there is such a thing as a second chance.
There's hope. We can change. We got to do whatever it takes to keep people alive.
That includes keeping addicts safe while they are still in active addiction. The St. John's say legislation signed by Governor Beshear is doing just that. The General Assembly has decriminalized fentanyl test strips, which were considered drug paraphernalia. The bill sponsor, Representative Kim Mosier, told WKYT this was all about trying to save people.
The epidemic of drugs is not going anywhere. It's these small steps that people are going to take that is going to save lives.
Under the law, if a fentanyl test strip has any residue on it, it will not be a prosecutable offense. The St. John's say using the strips and knowing a substance is laced with fentanyl could be what leads someone to get clean.
That may be the turning point to say, hey, I know if I do this, I'm going to die. Maybe he lays the bag down or disposes of it the correct way today. You know, that, I mean, we have to do anything to save people's lives. We have to.
That was Chad Hedrick reporting. There has been a strong push from recovery advocates in the past to carry Narcan around. The St. John's have it in their facilities and believe these strips should be just as accessible. Part of the bill requires the Cabinet for Health and Family Services and Justice and Public Safety Cabinet to conduct a fentanyl education and awareness campaign. Well, thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up next, the Biden administration invests in clean and safe drinking water throughout a multi-billion-dollar effort and to replace old pipes that can cause illness when you drink straight from the tap.
And we are watching out for possibly some strong storms late tonight and early Thursday. That full first alert forecast coming up next.